And welcome back for round two of Portland Papers Legacy Thursdays here at Portland Game Store. My name is Curran Delahanty, and I'm joined by
Robert Riley.
and we're here for an exciting round two of Magic. Ahem.
That's right, viewers. It's Miracles versus Miracles.
Right. So, yes, Miracles versus Miracles. Exciting stuff brought to you here. And I just need to update the players' records as well. The Sneak and Show player unfortunately didn't want to play on camera, so we are here at this point. Bring you this match. Alright, Joel starts out with an island and passes the turn to Sean. And we have the goodest boy returning to stream. Lucifer Gooseworth on Sean's playmat there.
A truly flawless playmat, indeed.
Well, that is a good cat.
Extremely good cat.
All right,
And we are away with
a snowball.
the Astrolabe. Snowball.
Sean lovingly called it Snowball as he cast it there.
That's a pretty good name for it.
Yeah.
I'll give it that.
I forgot to tell them about the reverse stream deck.
Those of you looking for some bling will note Joel's APAC lands.
Ooh, there's a counterbalance on turn 2 from Sean. That's a big spell in this matchup. So Joel's gonna fight. Down to 19.
As he said last week, why cast one counterspell for 2 mana? You can cast a million counterspells for 2 mana. Sean's thinking. Sean has something.
Okay, I'm gonna mute the mic for a sec.
I just heard him say something about life total. That should be correct. Yeah. Life total direct.
Yep, Sean's gonna fight.
And there's the anti-bling, the white-bordered Force of Will.
The best bling. You don't get to see a whiteboard Force of Wills often.
You do not get to see them often.
Sean put so much love into those things.
Why are we at 18? I'm at 8. Wait, you're at 19. I'm at 19.
Yes, that's correct. That's correct. That's what we have. They just don't know it's reverse. Yeah. Can you? They have some anxiety about it. Could you run out and let them know? I'll handle it.
Are these reverse? Okay. Okay.
Yes, Joel is representing land diversity and fighting for the Snoverlords. I love it.
He's also playing some of the finest basic lands ever printed.
Yeah.
The APAC lands, which are truly beautiful pieces of art.
And the unhinged planes, I believe. Or is that unglued? I can never remember.
I believe
it's unglued.
It's unglued,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. Slam Mentor. Ice Fang Coatl off the top won't counter it.
Doesn't do it. In a moment, we will see the boys be back in town.
Alright, another Astrolabe comes down. Draw.
That's not a removal spell.
Looks like Sean was just looking for the next land there. Found it. I have to... there has to be a plow, right? No. Pass turn. Joel gets to untap.
Do we think Joel's going to go in and get coattled? I don't think he's inattentive enough for that. I think he knows what he saw means.
Right.
Do you think Sean just doesn't have an answer?
Oh, looks like Sean's flashing in Ice Fang Coatl. Brainstorm. Plains gets flipped. Oh. So that brainstorm resolved pretty good. Snake is going to resolve. Joel needs to finish this brainstorm, though.
Joel needs to finish his brainstorm and resolve his triggers.
Yeah. He's got a mentor token. All right.
Any rules lawyers in the chat wondering if you missed it, is simply out of order sequencing here.
Yeah. Plenty of out of order sequencing happening.
We'll
right
see
now.
it a lot tonight.
Surprise. Joel didn't know it had death touch. Oh, no. That's big.
Up.
Oh. Plow it in before damage. Okay. So now Joel understanding. Sean being...
The snake has learned to farm. Joel's doing all right at the moment.
Yeah. Definitely not bad.
And at this point, I don't even know if he's scared of. As long as Sean doesn't have some kind of master
Farm
removal,
states.
he can counter every spell Joel casts for the rest of the game, and he's still going to win.
Ian, are you logged in on the Portland Paper account, or is that Travis? Assuming Travis hasn't passed out yet.
Now Travis is on a different account.
Yeah, he was.
Maybe
yeah.
it's a ghost.
It's a ghost. Farm snakes.
Whoever it is, welcome. Sean has flawless mana at this point.
Good job, Ian. Down to 18? Or Joel's at 20. Okay.
Yes, because the Metro got
Right.
plotted.
Forgot about that. Okay.
To join the snake on the farm where they both work now.
Yeah, the snake retired to a farm life. Not one of too much.
There's all kinds of jobs for a snake on a farm,
What does the snake do for you?
It eats rats.
That's fair. Okay,
It
terminus.
straightens
on
the
top.
fields, or the furrows, or whatever you call them, the place where you put the seeds.
So Jace is gonna resolve.
4 astrolabes out here begging to be elk. They might have to beg for a while looking at the cards in play and the cards on top of libraries here.
Jeez. Turn down the brightness on that camera. It's getting hard to see cards.
Joel is activating... That's a terminus on top there.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'll fix it when it's time. Alright, so gets in for 4. Sean down 16.
And the 16 there.
Cast a terminus. Get the guys off the table.
As you do.
Euro! New tech!
That is a
yeah.
spicy Magic the Gathering card. I don't think I have seen that card cast in this format
Down
ever.
up 19.
Have you?
I have not seen Euro cast personally yet. That's the first time, I think. But I have seen it starting to appear in lists in Legacy. I
That
should
might
say.
be the spiciest card we've seen so far tonight.
So far tonight, I would agree. Yes. Sean was telling me about that before the tournament, actually. So I'm glad that he's getting to show it off. Okay, so Euro's been in there for several weeks.
Ah. Uro, not Euro.
Uro, not Euro.
Uro.
Uro. Euro?
I am valid, though.
Uro.
You won't take that away from me.
You can't steal our validity. Anyway, Joel's resolving this brainstorm. Back to Sean.
Looks like Joel has another Jace the Mind Sculptor in hand. Can't imagine that getting fed to doing anything but getting fed to a Forcible at some point.
Speaking of 2019-2020 Magic, there's the 3-drop Teferi.
That card's very, very strong.
Brainstorm's going to resolve as Sean flipped a Forest off that counterbalance.
I can't imagine Sean doing anything with that Teferi other than bouncing one of his Astrolabes, right? Just drawing a whole bunch of cards.
Absolutely. Draw 2 cards. Seems decent.
Seems decent. Seems good enough.
Yep.
There it goes.
Teferi picks a snowball up off the ground and says, "Here you go, Dad. You can play it again." There's the Astrolabe.
A truly shocking sequence of plays.
Oh, cannot cast AK end of turn due to Teferi.
Living the Teferi life once again.
Alright, Joel said 18 there, so I'm updating that. Hearthstone is here.
Did I ever show you the card that I made in a custom card creator that just turns magic into Kaijudo?
Oh yeah, I do remember that. What a time.
Anybody in the chat remember Kaijudo? AKA Duel Masters, the biggest game that Wizards sells in Japan? I wouldn't imagine anybody does. It failed pretty spectacularly over here. Yeah, Morph Mana. Hey, we know we have somebody who recognizes it.
Here we go. Counterbalance trigger on Council's Judgment. Shows a Mystic Sanctuary. Sean just flipping lands off this counterbalance all day.
Looks like Democracy has destroyed Teferi. Sorry, exiled Teferi. Teferi has been voted off the island.
Yeah, Serenity did kill Astrolabes. Man, Underworld Breach gone too soon, I think. Gone too
I think so.
soon.
I really would be baffled. I'm baffled by the choice to ban that card and not anything else.
Yeah.
That seems very strange to me.
We talk about it all the time, these decks splashing a color they don't need for a card that's really good.
Almost like the format's been warped.
Oh, that's awesome.
Only picked up Kaijudo because your son's watching the show. Well, that's great. That's a good reason to pick up that game. All my memories of Kaijudo are tied to the fact that I once worked at Penny Arcade Expo as a contractor for Wizards, and instead of having me do anything magic related, which was and still is my area of expertise, they had me doing demo games of Kaijudo for people, which I thought would be a problem, but it turns out you can learn every single rule of that game in the span of 1 minute.
So Sean just finished resolving Brainstorm with the Jace. Now the Mystic Sanctuary is going into play here and put Force of Will back on top. Powerful plays.
Big plays. Does Joel play counterbalances?
Joel does have counterbalance in the deck.
Okay. Well, that's not getting counterbalanced for sure. Or is it?
Brainstorm response to Snapcaster pretty tight with the counterbalance trigger probably still on the stack.
Sean should be revealing those cards.
Should?
He should be. He's drawing them one at a time.
Yeah, just drawing Brainstorm. Counterbalance isn't triggering each time.
Oh, that's right. It doesn't
Yeah.
reveal the top card. You're right.
Yeah. All right.
I once again have forgotten how to read Magic the Gathering cards.
Jace has just gotten exiled to Council's Judgment, and Joel's Jace is now going to take maybe a different direction besides Zero? Maybe?
He's thinking about it.
Nope, Brainstorm.
I
Classic
don't think he's
miracles.
comfortable enough to start taking those steps towards victory. But he's near that tipping point. The game being the way it is right now and having a Jace on the table,
Mentorlists don't usually play in Treat. Yeah, I think that's right. I don't think I've seen Joel ever cast in Treat either, so yeah.
as a counterpoint,
I have seen
they do when they play
Entreat
Mystic Sanctuary.
in different lists so far on Moto, but I just don't know where. Oh, here we go. Escaping. We have a Titan on the escape.
The beef has arrived.
22-20. Okay, there we go. Joel gained some life back there somewhere. I don't know.
It's not as bad as
Returning Uro to hand. That's one way to deal with it.
previous matches.
Okay. Ooh, finally
counterbalance hits.
Yeah.
Did
That
a whole
ponder.
lot of nothing for a whole lot of time there, didn't it?
Yeah, it really did, which is not common in this kind of matchup, but I guess it happens. Alright, Joel allows the brainstorm to resolve. I think I just saw Narset get drawn by Sean, which would be a really good planeswalker right now.
Does quite a lot against Jace.
Sean goes down to 21 fetching with the Misty Rainforest. Joking about getting rid of the swords to plowshares stuck in his hand. Yeah, honestly, like, look at Joel's beautiful lands, but they're not snow, so it's suboptimal.
Doesn't matter.
Joel does
Sometimes
have an AK,
Sometimes it's better to be beautiful.
and there is that AK in response. Oko comes off the top, threatening to be like, this is what's happening. Wow, lots of AK here.
They say yes, do whatever you want. Yeah, that was close.
Force on Joel's end. Force back on Sean's end.
How much work do you think Supreme Verdict is going to do?
Huh? Yeah. Alright, so Sean's going to take a look at the top four with the Narset here and probably pull the Oko. Yep, there it is. Casting Oko as well. So much hurt for Joel here. And,
Would you say that this game state is snowballing out of control?
ha 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 ha. Yep, here comes the snowball right now and just hitting Jace in the face. There it goes.
So this looks pretty good for Sean.
Sean is in a huge commanding position here. It looks like Joel has Terminus in hand,
does have
which
Terminus
will
in
be pretty funny once he hits 6th land if Sean commits a ton of Elks to the table by then. Council Judgment.
All right,
pretty
looks
good.
like Joel's wrapping
and
up
that's
there.
going to be a scoop from Joel.
The overwhelming power of nature and democracy finally got to him.
We're going to see game 1 go straight to Sean.
And
And that good boy
sideboarding.
Lucifer Gooseworth.
Lucifer Gooseworth takes it down again.
Unbelievable.
Immensely powerful being, Lucifer Gooseworth.
See, Joel doesn't have a playmat, which is like slightly upsetting.
He does have a creepy ghost girl.
Creepy Ghost Girl is there just in case our players don't want to play playmats.
It's true. Hopefully our players will give us a glance at their sideboards, but if not, that's just how it goes. It looks like a hunting expedition in Alaska. Lots of elk and lots of snowlands.
Yeah.
Indeed, indeed.
Snowverlords 1, Sweetheart Land 0. So good. Oh. Okay. Yeah, I think Sean might just be favored in this matchup based
He
on
might
the
be.
splash and like Veils get to come in too.
Oh, I
which
forgot
is
about
huge
that.
Game.
A lot of good reasons to play green in this deck.
Yeah. Joel's only bringing in like 3 cards. Sean's got like 6 laid out. I am interested. Or maybe even like 9. Wow. Wow.
At a certain point, you do sideboard in so many cards that you start to lose the thread of your original strategy, though. So I'm curious what he's bringing in.
They're talking about unexpectedly absent. What a throwback.
Unexpected.
Yeah, back in the day.
The sorcery speed.
The instant speed. Yeah, white
Oh,
X.
yes.
Return
Oh, that card was great.
from the top. Yeah.
That card's quite good.
Oh, man.
That card's basically Vindicate, really, when it comes down to it.
Absolutely. Yeah, great way to beat Counterbalance, because you can just make it this cost that probably won't get flipped.
Underappreciated application against Counterbalance is to put a card with a weird mana cost on top of the library and then cast something that isn't that mana cost.
They're shuffling up for game 2 here.
All right. Looks like we're just about ready to start game 2.
Wait, Joel, did we forget something?
Maybe just getting tokens ready.
Double check.
Always good to double check.
Always good.
That's what I just said.
Wow, he just called us nerds.
He did just call us
He just left
nerds.
the room and called us nerds. We had someone standing here, like, looking over us.
Watching the streaming process.
And then just walked out and said we were nerds. Right into the mic that we
Right
can
in the
hear through.
microphone.
Right?
I mean, we are. We are.
But, yeah, it's a real AV club in here. Don't worry about it.
I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 little dials you can fiddle with on
Yeah,
the
it's
sound
a-
equipment in front of us.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
I mean, there's obviously a microphone. Yeah. Those dots are very much microphone.
They have realized the microphone is present.
And are filled with regret.
Yeah, Sean was making a joke about, stuff. Don't worry about it.
I wouldn't worry about it.
Yes, I'm not going to press the red button, I promise.
We're not gonna. We know better than to make match audio live.
Alright, let's see here.
I can only identify one card out of either of their hands, and that's a Snapcaster Mage and Joel's. But it's good to know that's there.
Everything's awesome. Tensu's pretty bad.
Sean's going to ship. Joel's like blurting. He's saying everything's awesome about this hand.
Have we seen a game on stream with Sean where he hasn't mulliganed?
Sean mulls a lot. Yeah, basically every time we bring him on camera.
Without Fed Slam, then maybe I would have kept it.
So I talked to Joel before the event, and the deck is not splashing red yet because they're negotiating a deal for a foreign black bordered volcanic island before splashing the red. So alright. Looks like we got a good read on the hand from chat, at least Joel's hand. Snapcaster, Dovin's Veto, Narset, Council's Judgment, Island. So
Dovin's Veto is quite a good card.
Sean's on his second mulligan.
It's not good for Sean.
Last week we saw him mull to 3.
He didn't win that game.
No, he didn't. Sean does have Entreat in his list. He just went ahead and confirmed that.
But
So-
is he playing mind games and trying to make Joel think that he's playing Entreat?
Oh, maybe.
That makes your deck very threat heavy for playing Entreat, Uro. My
Uro?
apologies to
Euro?
the etymologically
Have we
inclined in
agreed
the
on
chat.
how to pronounce the name? Has WotC released a def like a
Well, I was
enunciation?
told I was invalid for pronouncing it Euro, so I will pronounce it Euro until further. Was that Breitling? I hope it is. I don't think it is, but I hope that we do see a Breitling hit the table today.
I
I would
don't.
be extremely delighted.
I don't mean to let anybody's hopes and dreams down, but I don't think that's happening today.
Listen, Legacy is a 3-3 for 3 format.
Yeah, it is. And then the latter half of 2019 happened, indeed. You gotta wonder, with all these cards that came out, like, we've seen the Okos, we've seen Astrolabes, we've seen Karn Lattice, we've seen Mystic Sanctuary in action, we've seen 3-drop Planeswalkers, all this good stuff. What would life be like if Deathrite was still legal?
Probably still a nightmare. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Probably even more of a nightmare
Probably
now.
even more of a nightmare. You know what Deathrite looks really good next to? Oko.
2-drop walkers.
We've had one that's quite good.
Yeah, that didn't last long. All right, AK, draw a card. We got a little off base here talking about that.
It's not like much happened during the game
Yeah.
while we were talking about that. I think it's all right.
It's all right. Joel might be missing a third land. Nope.
Nope.
There it is. Just hard passing, probably with Dovin's veto ready to go at like a counterbalance or something silly.
What if it's cancel? What if he's just playing straight up cancel?
Straight up cancel. 1 blue, counter target spell. That's what Force of Negation is sometimes.
Sometimes it is.
Except it exiles the spell, so it's just a little bit better
Sounds
than
still a
cancel.
little bit better. I would love to see a format that's just Legacy, but every single card is just like strictly worse than another card in Legacy.
Alright, serious draw from Sean here. Oh, we're checking the miracle. That's totally an entreat, isn't it?
Not yet. Not yet.
Sean says not yet. Alright, Joel's going to turn 5 here.
It's like you don't even play playing brainstorm. What are you doing?
Disallow shuts down Storm. Yes.
That's true. This one is pretty all right.
Joel's down to 19 here.
Twice. I would like to add a monastery mentor.
Joel ups to cast Monastery Mentor here.
These lands. Those lands.
Sean's going to fight back with a counterspell.
Sure.
Joel says that's fine. And then, oh, the real threat. Sean says, no, sir, with a Dovin's veto of his own.
Yeah. It's the like FNM promo or something like that.
Quite a lot of counterspells happening.
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with counterbalance shenanigans from this side. I want to play counterbalance. I don't want to deal with them. Just go.
Sean doesn't want to deal with counterbalance. Made that very clear.
I don't want to deal with counterbalance. I respect that.
There's a mentor, the alternate art one.
The one that baffled us so badly last week.
We were like, what is that? I had never seen that printing before. Ridiculous.
It's not in many people's hands.
I like this one. Sure.
Responding to the council's judgment.
Should be like 17.
All right. The question now is, does Sean hate democracy?
Does Sean hate democracy?
Is Sean about to suppress some votes? Oh, do you see what I saw in there? Couple of red elemental blasts.
Yeah, definitely. It's still played. And also,
It's
you need
still
need to
here.
tap that astrolabe to make that play legal. But I don't need to go out there to say that probably because it doesn't.
It's not
change
gonna
much.
matter.
Yeah. But that play is legal because of the astrolabe. Oh, Flusterstorm.
Democracy survives another threat.
Indeed. Alright. Sean main phases Ice Fang Coatl here and draws a card.
Yeah. 17, 18. So, alright.
Alrighty.
Joel's in the tank here. Despite there being a lot of cards on the table, I don't think there's really that much pressure from Sean at the moment.
Yeah, not a ton.
And 2 cards in hand is especially unthreatening.
More like a Republic, eh? Oh man, true. Pyroblast, here we
There's
go.
a Pyroblast. Joel has answers to this. Joel can make this work. I don't know if he wants to.
It looks like he'll fight. Dovin's veto. Snapcaster now resolves. And casts
Casting
Ponder.
a Ponder.
Do we know what Sean's last card is?
I don't think we do.
Okay.
Oh, we do. It's Entreat the Angels.
Oh, that's right.
Or Sean tells us it's Entreat the Angels.
Yes.
Whether it actually is Entreat the Angels is another story.
The oak. Oh, Joel didn't see it.
It
but
is
was
time for
Oka.
Fairy Hell. Here we go.
Yeah. I'll plus on monk. Sure. Yeah. Oh, actually, that's
Thank you, God Shocks, for joining us this evening and joining and calling us cool guys.
We appreciate it.
That's the best thing I've ever heard.
We think you're a cool guy too.
okay.
Alright, so back to Joel here.
Slam. We're gonna do that. Slam.
And Joel's at 14 from that last attack. Council's Judgment?
Yep.
Yep. And that's going to vote for Oko. Sean happily agreed. Democracy rules this time.
Don't split the vote. Super duper don't split the vote.
Yeah. Probably not good.
You know what would be good for Joel here?
Yes.
Planar cleansing.
Joel's at 13 from this fetch land.
We're putting so much stuff on the stack. I love it.
I'm gonna fetch. I think is when you're going to fetch. Please trying to make fetch happen. Fetch is never going to happen. please, continue. I'm gonna.
Joel's thinking really hard about which land he's getting with this. Okay.
Comes in untapped, friend.
No, he doesn't have 4 other
Yeah,
islands with it.
Tundra Island.
Oh, it is the 4th island. I see.
I thought I was gonna do cooler things. I want to play my land for turn and cast some tree for 1.
In Shark Acid Tree for 1.
A 4/4 is a 4/4.
So it's now just a 3/3 elf. Correct.
Let's see how Joel blocks here. If Joel blocks. Are we going to double up?
I think we are.
Jump.
Just means Joel does not have an immediate way to get rid of that angel, it looks like.
Joel's down to 12 there. I believe, at least by my count. Yes, it is the Miracles Mirror. Welcome to our the state of legacy.
For better or worse, Miracles wins games a lot faster now than it used to, so at least there's that. No more divining top. Thank God, and good riddance.
Yeah, for real. I heard elves is. I did not. I 5-0'd last night on the Moto. On the
Current,
Moto
there's some
circuit.
strong evidence on this stream that elves cannot hold up to the pressures of Grixis control.
Excuse me. He played completely wrong. I lent elves to the round 1 player, and they did not play correctly in any of the games.
I saw a bold young man playing elves in unique new ways. I don't know what you saw.
Yeah, imagine that. I still make it work. Again, 5-0'd at Moto last night, and I'm going to probably do it again tonight just because I feel like it.
Okay, Curran.
Yeah, I'm not upset.
He's not mad.
All right,
I'm here with
quality-
him in the booth, and I can confirm that he is extremely not mad. He's so not mad he's taken off his shirt.
Yeah. Don't worry about it.
He's neither red or mad. There's a whole lot of nothing happening in this Miracles match at the moment.
I promise you, if I played against him as the Elves player, he would have been destroyed. I would have wrecked.
That's not the world we live in, Curran.
It's okay. It's okay. I love Sean. Brother.
All right. So Joel's drawing a metric ton of cards here. Just a lot. Just a lot of cards this turn.
Probably not the pilot, but the tech builder. How dare you?
Curran will not hear this slander, but I will encourage it.
I'd be dead. Not living.
So, well, during this basically downtime that we have as these two decks try to draw the way into some kind of situation, I have to bring up our conversation topic of the evening. What is the worst Magic deck you've played in a constructed tournament in each format?
In the constructed format.
Has to be 2 rules, has to be constructed deck, has to be in a tournament that you pay to get into.
So, I mean, I guess it would be my first Friday Night Magic that I had the worst deck. You know what that was? You don't think so? You don't think
I'm gonna exclude the ones where before we knew how to build a halfway decent deck.
Okay, fine.
Before
Worst
we
deck
knew
I've
better.
ever played in Magic.
Gottshocks in the comments is saying 4-color Fright Standard. That deck was a pile, but it was an extremely good pile.
With only 2 Unburial Rights.
Alright, that's a bad deck. Yeah, with only 2 Unburial Rights, that deck becomes a lot worse.
If I don't see these, I'm just going
Dead Guy Lil when it was good.
Dead Guy Ale, when it was good, is the worst deck you played. That's a searing indictment of Dead Guy Ale, I tell you what.
That is painful.
I think in each format, Legacy Burn with Deathrite and Badlands.
That rules.
That's super sick, but I understand it also probably wasn't super good. I guess Deathrite does a pretty good Lavamancer impression if you're just aiming for their face. My worst Legacy deck was Manaless Dredge.
Oh man.
I'll own up to that mistake. Kids, if you ever find yourself discarding 3 cards to return Phantasmagorian from your graveyard to your hand, you've made a mistake somewhere and should reconsider your decisions.
This one's
Meanwhile, our players are comparing their their foreign language tundras and noting they all say tundra, which is because they're all tundras.
Merfolk with mental misstep. That sounds horrible.
The worst morally. Ant without tendrils. Generally not a strong strategy.
That's fantastic.
Not all of us can be LSV and talk our way out of that situation.
Fear can see. Ride it all the way, brother.
Sean got cards in his hand over the course of playing Coatl and just generally the game
Ponder.
going for a long, long time.
Draw steps.
Several draw steps in a row passed without him playing anything, and same thing with Joel, essentially. He's played some lands, but for the most part, he hasn't been playing much at all. It's been a pretty... What's the best way to... rattlesnakey game at the moment. The two players waiting to strike at each other.
How do I feel about Stairway to Heaven? Yo, I've been sitting here trying to figure out who this is.
You know who that is.
I know who that is.
You know who it is now, for sure.
Not in this house. Alright.
Planeswalker battle has begun.
See, my first clue was hell yeah, brother. that was my first clue.
That's that giveaway. That card on top, for those of you who missed it, is a Pyroblast. That was put there by Mystic Sanctuary. Sean is demoralized by the lack of Jace Fate Sealing.
Oh! Force back!
And we are once again left with very few cards in hand and very few meaningful permanents on the table. Is there a play more demoralizing in Magic than when somebody Fate Seals you with Jace and then leaves the card on top of your deck? Is there anything that feels worse than that?
I don't know. It's happened to me a lot. I've had that happen, and it does feel awful.
It's really terrible. SCG Legacy Open in 2009 or 2010 with Standstill and Scepter Chant. Ooh,
that's awesome, though.
That's a sweet pile. I don't know how it ranks in the tiers of Legacy, but Orm's Chant on an Icecrown Scepter and Standstill is a delectable combination. Topping in response to someone else's top. That makes me feel bad. That demoralizes every judge in the world, for sure.
What about topping, then holding priority, then topping again?
Why?
Because it's
what does that accomplish? Well, Joel has stuck a counterbalance, and appears to be about to stick a Vendilion Click.
So counterbalance trigger still on the stack, and then casting Brainstorm to set it up here on Joel's end.
Joel's clawing his way back into this. Well, not clawing his way back into this game, I guess, but certainly getting ahead here. With a minute 21 left, I don't know how accurate our clock is to the clock outside, but this might be another 1-1 draw.
Yeah, or it might just be 101. Who knows?
Well, we'll see. That's the fight. You win in the mirror if you have more lands when you go to a draw. Magic is pretty opposed to figuring out who wins.
These hard cast cancels are just incredible.
This is terrific. I love watching people cast Force of Will for 5 mana. It's a terrible card when you do that. It's just super, super bad, and
now
love
we're
seeing it in the highest power format in Magic.
Says keep the
Second
cards.
highest power format in Magic, I should say.
This was all in Sean's main phase, and now we're finally getting to see a ponder.
What's he gonna do with it? It's his main phase, and he's tapped all his lands.
Set up the entreat, obviously. The second entreat.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Cancel is a little bit behind the curve at 3 CMC, I'll say. I think if you're only getting the line counter target spell, 3 mana is still probably not very good.
So, Joel has Caracas, which he could just kind of like... Oh. Well, never mind. Draw step. New click. Wow.
Wow. That's pretty good. That's...
Ooh, Uro and Astrolabe?
excuse me, it's Uro.
Uro. Alright, Uro to the bottom. Draw to replace. Cast Astrolabe.
This is not the 3 mana fairy that most people would expect to be deciding this game, but here we are.
Floodstrand on top of Joel's deck. Mentor coming down. Joel's down to 11, I think. Uro.
Sean's assembled the Voltron of snowballs here. This is starting to kind of evolve from a counterspell fight to a slugfest, really.
All with Floodstrand just sitting on top, being sad for Joel. There it is.
There's some exceptionally cursed chats in the comments here. I'm not going to repeat them, but if you want to hurt your brain while watching the VOD, feel free to read them.
Sean might just wrap this up 2-0.
Yeah, I don't see. Looking at Joel's hand, he has what appears to be a brainstorm and a flusterstorm.
Land off the top for.
And Sean just
He's
has
counterbalances, man.
Sean just has the ability to deal damage, which, frankly, is enough at this point.
Yeah.
Joel could draw Terminus. Joel could draw Supreme Verdict. He has answers to the situation, but
Cycling Veil of Summer in response to Swords to Plowshare.
all right, looks like we are watching the 1 mana Cryptic Command get cast, and it might just seal the game.
Hardcast Force of Will in the Veil.
5 mana counterspell. The 5 mana counterspell is real, and it's not good in most situations, but it's good enough here.
Sean's at 24.
And it looks like...
And they called time and round.
Yep. So we are in turns. He just brainstormed, or I believe he just pondered and knows that it's not a 5-drop, so he chose not to reveal. Oh, no check on balance for Joel. That might just be a misplay.
I think Joel's at 8 here.
I think he just said that, yeah. We missed the attack by the guys.
Oh, okay. Sean's at 18. Right. Okay, Joel's just scooping.
Yep, looks like a... It's like a 2-0 for Sean.
Yeah.
And that'll wrap up that match.
Indeed. And time was called, so we're going to have round 3 here super duper shortly. And we will be right back with you.
Yep. Stay tuned.